so many, it's guys that that can't come out because of their image. You know what I'm saying? That'll make your eyes go.
Because my next guest just testified before a federal grand jury. He says he was in possession of a trove of digital evidence from Diddy's freak-offs and parties.
All right, Freddy P, who was part of Diddy's group Da Band, has always been vocal about his experiences, but his recent interviews have taken things to a whole new level. He's been spilling details about his encounters with Diddy, including one particular night that left him shaken and questioning everything. Now, Freddy isn't just some random guy off the street. He was handpicked to be part of Diddy's empire, and for a moment, he was living the dream. But that dream quickly turned into something else entirely.
It's just my type of party, man. Just stay to yourself, mind your business. I'm not even looking at you, nasty bitch. Like, I'm just like, I know y'all not looking at me. You get what I'm saying? At that time, man, you just happy to smoke, man, in privacy, man. We were just happy to get away from everybody and get our yeah. Like, when I hear stuff about Puffy right now, I'm like, yo, how far this nigga came, because
Freddy, buckle up, because this story dives into a world of glitz, power, and some downright bizarre situations that you won't believe. Picture this. Freddy P, one of the standout personalities from the MTV reality series Making the Band 2, has come forward with some jaw-dropping revelations about his time in the orbit of Sean Diddy Combs. And trust us, these aren't your typical behind-the-scenes anecdotes. We're talking about a glimpse into a world most of us can only imagine. A world where the lines between success, loyalty, and manipulation blur in ways that'll leave you scratching your head.
In fact occur, their argument is more than likely going to be that this activity was consensual, that this person was a willing participant, and not only that, but that these individuals assumed the risk of being present at those parties, of engaging and voluntarily engaging in this conduct and being in those spaces, consuming alcohol and things of that nature.
Fred set the scene. Freddy found himself at one of Diddy's infamous parties. And no, this wasn't just your average get-together with some music and hors d'oeuvres. We're talking about an atmosphere that could only be described as both dazzling and deeply unsettling. Freddy has described these gatherings as over-the-top spectacles where anything and everything seemed possible, or maybe even expected. The energy was electric, but beneath the glamour, there was something darker lurking. According to Freddy, one of the most shocking moments came when Diddy approached him directly. Freddy claims that Diddy, in his usual larger-than-life style, made a proposition that caught him completely off guard. Allegedly, Diddy offered Freddy a significant amount of money in exchange for what he called a favor. Freddy hasn't gone into explicit detail about what that favor entailed, but he made it clear that it was something that didn't sit right with him. Now, imagine being a young artist who's trying to make it big, and suddenly the person who holds the keys to your career is dangling opportunities in front of you, but with strings attached. It's a power dynamic that feels both intoxicating and terrifying.
My guy, Freddy P, man, let's get right into it. Diddy, he got indicted. How you feel about that?
It was a surprise to me, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Freddy's reaction? He turned Diddy down. He says he felt cornered but refused to compromise his principles, even if it meant risking his place in the group or his career altogether. It's a decision that clearly weighed heavily on him, and he's been open about how the experience left him feeling disillusioned. Freddy describes it as a moment where he realized that the industry wasn't just about talent or hard work. It was also about navigating a minefield of manipulation and control. But that's not all. Freddy has also shared details about the overall vibe of the party, and let's just say it wasn't your typical celebration. He described an environment where boundaries seemed non-existent and where certain behaviors were not only normalized but encouraged. Freddy has talked about seeing things that left him questioning the very nature of the industry he had worked so hard to be a part of. It wasn't just the excess or the eccentricity, it was the way people seemed to lose themselves in the pursuit of pleasing those at the top.
That's the one time I could probably say I walked into a crazy party. But we came through the back door and it was a big ass club. Like, it was like, you know what I'm saying? Like some real freaky gothic shit. It was like some like I like though, because I like privacy. I like to party, but I want to be private. I don't want to be looked at. I don't want to have to watch you niggas all night.
One of the most unsettling aspects of Freddy's story is how he felt targeted by Diddy's advances. Freddy has recounted how Diddy would casually invade people's personal space and make comments that were anything but professional. He's even described moments where Diddy's behavior crossed lines that most people would consider unacceptable. Freddy has said that these experiences left him feeling deeply uncomfortable and ultimately led to his decision to distance himself from Diddy entirely. It wasn't an easy decision to make. Freddy has been candid about the internal struggle he faced. On one hand, walking away from Diddy meant potentially giving up everything he had worked so hard to achieve. On the other hand, staying meant compromising his values and subjecting himself to an environment that he found increasingly toxic. In the end, Freddy chose to walk away, even if it meant starting over from scratch.
But the way the club is, I can't lie. I'd rather say I always tell people, the reason I remember this night so well because this is how I prefer to party. Like I went in there, was swinging from the all over the place. It's people getting on. It's people like everybody in their own fucking world, right?
Freddy's revelations don't just stop at his personal experiences. He's also spoken out about what he believes is a pattern of behavior on Diddy's part. Freddy has alleged that Diddy has a history of exploiting those around him, particularly when they're at their most vulnerable. He's described how Diddy's charisma and influence can be both mesmerizing and dangerous, creating a dynamic where people feel compelled to say yes to things they would normally never agree to. Freddy's decision to speak out has opened the floodgates for others to share their own stories. There's a growing sense that Freddy's experiences are part of a larger pattern, one that has been hidden in plain sight for years. His willingness to go public has sparked conversations about power, control, and the darker side of the entertainment industry.
Me and you did so many interviews, I never got to ask you, have you ever been to a freak off?
No, but what I can say, but I don't know, because I don't know what the freak off look like, right? Right? Is it in a private house? Is it in a party or club? Because I've been to clubs where I walked in and people was doing and it was on behalf of bad boys.